performances I did not really care for. So those reviews. Anyways, on to last 2 points we want to make. One of them being about Jesse Williams' speech. Jesse fucking Williams, y'all. Alright. So he's the actor guy. I guess he was on Grey's Anatomy or one of those doctor shows. I don't know. I'm not gonna act like I knew who the hell he was before this, but I know who he is now, or kind of who he is. Um, I'm a fan now. I ain't going to front. Alright? Now, people are gonna be like, well, you don't even watch his stuff, so how can you say you a fan? When I'm typically a fan of a celebrity, I am a fan of their personality, who they are, more so than their acting skills or whatever skills they portray. Um, like I recently became a fan of J.R. Smith because of the speech he stated and how he wants to live his life and everything. I don't think he's the best basketball player, but that does not mean that because I don't think he is the best that I cannot be a fan of the man. Same with Jesse Williams. Now, Jesse Williams wowed me and wowed the crowd with his speech, and you can tell he was sincere. In fact, he was one of the only him and Samuel Jackson, I'm going to say, are the only two sincere speeches or sincere speakers at that award show. Everyone else was obviously being PC, being political, or being typical ass kissing, fake it celebrities, fake the lifestyle, fake everything type of this type of stuff. I'm totally not for. Jesse Williams, again, you can tell how sincere he was within the speech and how sincere he is in everything he said, he stated. Um, that to me is just great. That's something that everyone, whether you're a kiss ass celebrity or you're a kiss ass admirer of these kiss ass celebrities, you should aspire to be just like that. Someone who isn't afraid to say what they feel and be themselves and don't try to say things because of certain groups might think this way or whatever, and this, that, and the third. But he you can tell how sincere he was, and I can't really, and that was one of the major highlights of the BET Awards was his speech. Um, but as much as I loved his speech and I loved every word that he stated in the speech, um, I do think that, especially in a room full of people who are the antithesis of what of Jesse Williams is all about. Because there's a lot of celebrity types in at the BET Awards and the fans as well. Are it went in one ear and went out the other. He talked about how he was in that same speech. He held everyone in the room accountable. How they're getting all this money and get this, that, and the third. He held them accountable for what the black community is going for and said we need to do better with our money instead of doing this, that, and the third with it, this and blah, 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 living this type of life. Meanwhile, you have other blacks, the majority of blacks, I should say, aren't living as wealthy or aren't living as lavish as we are, and we need to do something about it. Again, they clapped and they cheered and everything, but I don't think any other black person in that room was fully moved by what he stated. Again, it's just this idea of let's clap, let's do this, let's do that. Yeah, he's preaching. Again, it went one in one ear and out the other. And sadly, that is the case with a lot of uh, black leaders. Now, I'm not saying Jesse Williams is a black leader, but that was the case with Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, even Elijah Muhammad, and countless other black leaders. James Baldwin stated this a lot, where he talked about how when he would state certain things, it would just go in the ears of one ear and out the other, to black people. Um, because they're so used to living a certain way, or just the aspect of getting up and doing something, to them isn't worth it. Yet they want to complain and cry about the injustices that's going on in the community, or use the injustices that they haven't gone through themselves because they're rich and they're not living in these communities. But they want to use that as a way of getting more views and getting more fans and getting more people to pay attention to them when they really don't give a fuck about the cause. Again, real ass review right here, folks. So if I'm saying things that upset you, so fucking be it. But 10 out of 10 for Jesse Williams. Keep fighting on the good fight, brother. Keep doing everything that you're doing. Hopefully, your celeb friends can finally wake up from that matrix that they're living in and actually say this is the real world. And because I make all this money, or start being punks and saying, oh, if I do speak out like Jesse Williams, or if I am seen with Jesse Williams doing this, these white people aren't gonna fuck with me anymore. I'm gonna not gonna, this, that, and the third. It always brings me back to Nicki Minaj's comments. She stated a couple of years back when I guess she was asked about how come she rarely speaks on like issues such as the Mike Brown issue or the Trayvon Martin, and she stated herself that, yo, I don't speak on it because white people aren't going to pay me. At least she kept it real. She didn't say those words per se, but she stated that I forgot the words she used, but she basically said that because I'm at this level in my career right now, that if I was to take that route, as you see celebs or music artists try to take that route, I guess that very extreme pro-black route, they get blackballed, outcasted, this, that, and the third, right? So it's like she made it clear, and she's also stated that she didn't say names, but she stated that most celebrities or most of her peers or whatever, just celebrities in general, are afraid to speak out because of that idea that, oh, we might get blackballed, or the money's going to stop coming in, and basically the white man isn't going to pay us anymore. He isn't going to fund us if we speak out against his injustice system. Fear. That bullshit aspect. Also, shout out to Dave Chappelle. I didn't write it in my notes, but if you didn't catch it in his speech prior to the first performance of Prince's tribute, he stated how they called Prince crazy and this, that, and the third because he took a stance for what he believed in. Dave Chappelle was basically referencing what happened to him. For all you motherfuckers out there who don't understand or who don't or are hard at listening, remember when Dave Chappelle stopped doing the Chappelle Show, or this is prior to the Chappelle Show was off the air. He was considered crazy because I think he spent 3 days in Africa, or he just went missing, right? People were saying he was on drugs, he's a crackhead, he's an alcoholic, he's gone crazy, right? This, that, and the third. Because he was sticking up for what he truly believes in. He turned down all this money that he was going to get because his morals, his beliefs was worth more than the money. Again, Prince did the same thing. That's what I'm talking about with these celebs. They're so afraid to put their morals or their actual feelings before money. And they're controlled puppets. So, kudos to Dave Chappelle for that. 10 out of 10 for that. Last point I wanted to make is about the overall awards given at this award show and other award shows as well. People wanted to cry about Kendrick Lamar got snubbed, J. Cole got snubbed. These are real hip hop, blah, 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 and this, that, and the third. As much as I would have liked to see Kendrick or Cole or any other person that I personally like get an award other than Beyonce, those awards it's a popularity contest, people, at the end of the day. It has nothing to do with actual talent. It has nothing to do with album sales. It's a popularity contest. Bryson Tiller was the big winner of the night because he's the more popular new guy, the more popular face of what's going down right now. It's a popularity contest. They look at what their audience is listening to, and then they reward those people because they want their audience to stay tuned. Okay, their audience isn't like me. Their audience is not listening to Kendrick Lamar like that. Their audience isn't listening to Prince like that. Their audience isn't listening to Erykah Badu, Roots, or Bilal, or Anderson .Paak maybe, or the two lovely sisters that I love so much that I don't know their name, or don't remember their name. Their audience is not listening to artists like that. So obviously they're listening to Bryson Tillers. They're listening to Beyonce only because of how grand and big she is. They're listening to Futures. They're listening to designers. They're listening to a Drake. Drake was nominated for a hell of a lot. I think he won one award, but he never shows up to them shits anyway. That's the only prop I give Drake. As much BET awards he gets, he rarely shows up to them because I think he knows damn well inside, man, y'all just gave me this shit because y'all want me to come to these award shows. And it's just like that. So to everyone out there who wanna cry about, well, it's not fair, this, that, and the third. One, I didn't see anyone crying about Cole and Kendrick getting snubbed. Where was the cries for that? When the Grammys does it, when white people snub black people, it's a problem. When black people snub black people, it's not a problem, right? Snubbing is snubbing, y'all. If you feel as though J. Cole should have got this award at the Grammys, and he's nominated for the same category at the BET Awards, and you say, well, J. Cole sold this amount of records with no features or anything, and you use that as to why he deserved the Grammy, that same reason should be why he deserved the BET Award, but he didn't. So don't cry about black artists getting snubbed at the Grammys or some other white, predominantly white, I should say, award show, and then when BET does it, it's fine because he doesn't have the banging beats like a Future or Designer or Bryson Tiller has. Cut that shit. Anyways, if I had to rate this whole fucking award show, I'd give it a 4 out of 10. Camera cut off, but you know the deal. Anyways, like I stated before, I give it a 4 out of 10. Why so low? It's the fucking BET Awards. There's always some ratchet coonery, buffoonery going on. I'm not surprised. I just want to do the video, watch it, see the Prince tribute. To me, the advertisement of it is what brought me into wanting to watch the show, and I ended up seeing more because if I didn't watch, I wouldn't have watched Jesse Williams' phenomenal speech, and countless other things that I liked, like the Beyonce Kendrick performance. I wouldn't have probably discovered Anderson .Paak or the two lovely sisters signed to Beyonce. So I'm grateful I still watched the show. Plus, I had nothing to do last night anyway. But it's the BET Award. It's probably the highest rating I've given a BET Award anyways, a 4 out of a fucking 10. I remember the last one I watched. I don't remember what year it was. I think it was last year or the year before. Prior to it, that award show was terrible. Horrible. Just no. Anyway, that's my review for, again, Real Nigga Review, or Real Ass Review, whatever you want to call it. Again, this wasn't your typical, ooh, girl, you see what she got on? I was looking at all the lovely asses anyways. But, y'all let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section below. What your thoughts on everything. If there's something that I left out, and you want to know my views on it, I will comment back what I think about it. Just, yeah, until next time, until next review, I see y'all when I see y'all.